Kurt, cable TV deals are changing the entire landscape of Major League Baseball. We've been doing this for about 20 years now. I've never seen an economic impact like cable has had before. What's the aggregate numbers for Major League Baseball?
Well, the average team is worth $605 million. That's a record, up 16% from last year. And you look at the teams with the big jumps. Really, you're talking about the Angels, the Rangers, the Dodgers. All these teams are signing blockbuster TV deals or on the verge of signing blockbuster TV deals. And the Dodgers, you know, they're front and center right now. Maybe take it away. Tell us what's going on with them.
Well, yeah, this is a bankrupt baseball team, right? And they're going to get a new TV deal beginning with the 2014 season. You're talking about an average rights fee over the next length of the next TV deal. That's probably going to average around $100 million a season. Now, to put that in perspective, right, you look at some of the more recent deals. The Astros rights fees are going to average in their new deal about $80 million. The same thing with the Texas Rangers. The Angels are going to get something in that ballpark. So the Dodgers are going to get about 20% more than the big deals currently given the Rangers and the Angels and the Astros. It's a good chance that the Dodgers will also own a stake in their new RSN. That means that the sale price of this team is probably going to be north of $1.4 billion. So Frank McCourt is probably going to make over $300 million after paying his divorce lawyers, his bankruptcy lawyers, and all the costs associated with the team, over $300 million profit on his bankrupt baseball team.
Incredible. Who would have thunk it? The team that really got all this started was the New York Yankees. 10-year anniversary of the Yes Network, which they launched with Goldman Sachs. The team is now worth $1.85 billion. That's an all-time record for a baseball team. What's really incredible is if you look at this, the Yankees don't make a lot of money on the team. You know, we've got them with profits of $10 million this year. But, you know, the money is incredible on the Yes Network, generates more than $200 million in cash flow a year. And really, you've got star players that are driving those high ratings and those high carriage fees that makes Yes so profitable.
Yeah, well, with the regional sports network, you got the dual revenue model, right? You're going to get the rights fee from the cable operator, and then you're going to get the advertising revenue, about 2-to-1 ratio in favor of the cable fees versus the advertising revenue. But you also have a lot of flexibility, right? I mean, who knows exactly where revenues and expenses are being parked in any given year. This goes on for, you know, other teams like the Red Sox, who own 80% of a regional sports network themselves. In fact, the Red Sox pioneered this model going back to the 80s with NESN. So there's some leverage there. You could also do the same thing. You could park debt in different areas. So you have a lot of flexibility besides the enormous profitability of your equity stake in an RSN.
The big winners, besides the team signing these deals, are the players. You know, you've got Albert Pujols, $240 million deal with the Los Angeles Angels. You know, that's clearly a deal driven by TV. Artie Moreno numerous times has been outbid for free agents, but this time nobody was going to outbid Moreno. And Albert Pujols is the biggest story in baseball this year. He is going to be must-see programming. Ratings for the Angels are likely to skyrocket this year. You also saw Matt Kemp. The Dodgers are going bankrupt.
Our cover boy.
The cover boy gets a $160 million contract over 8 years from the Dodgers because the Dodgers know if they're going to sign a big TV deal or start their own regional sports network, they need star programming. And a guy like Matt Kemp can be somebody that people want to tune into and watch 162
Well, yeah,
games.
I mean, last year the Dodgers and the Angels had average ratings of 1.9. They were tied for 30th in Major League Baseball, right? They both were in last place, so they're going to have to both get better ratings. You know, that goes back to the Matt Kemp signing. But they're going to have to spend more to build a team around that, which brings us to the Mets. Their value is down 4% this year. If you look at the Mets, though, they've recently come to a settlement with Irving Picard, the trustee in charge of getting back money for the scam victims in the Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme. Very interesting settlement. You know, as you look into it, what the Mets basically got was a 3-year reprieve, at which point they're going to have to pay back $169 million, I believe it is, in 3 years, beginning in 3 years. But if the Mets win in court in terms of saying they were victims in excess of that $169 million, they don't have to pay anything. Now, The over-under is they're going to have to pay something back, maybe 70 or 80 million, probably not the 169 million, but it buys them some time. So if you look at the Mets right now, they've got a little bit of breathing room. They've got about 2 to maybe 3 years to bring the fans back to Citi Field. This current team probably isn't going to finish above 500, but Fred Wilpon has bought himself some time.
The team I'm fascinated about is the Philadelphia Phillies. You know, they've moved in, they've become one of the big boys of baseball in terms of spending, in terms of revenue, led baseball in attendance last year. Their deal, I think, potentially could be a blockbuster. They had the highest TV ratings in baseball last year. Ratings are up 9 straight years now for the Phillies. Their deal with Comcast runs out in 2015, and so they're going to have to do something over the next couple years, and I think that one could absolutely be a blockbuster, you know, billion-dollar-plus deal.
Yeah, I like the Phillies. I think you're right there, but I think right along with the Phillies, I like the Cubs. Bigger market, right. Their deal ends in 2 years. Right now, they're part of an RSN that they own 20% of. Hey, let me tell you something. Jerry Reinsdorf, who owns the Bulls and the White Sox, really sort of controls that RSN right now. But the Cubs are the premier programming in that RSN, and I think that they're going to get the biggest increase in dollar amount in the next 2 years of any baseball team.